Well, folks, I think that we might be working now. Let's see if it works. I hit the go live button earlier like I normally do, and it never apparently went live. So I just called an entire first quarter and watched a great starting lineup by Principal and Coach Tim Kerr, and you folks didn't get to watch it. I apologize for that. Basket is good by Dalton Huffman. BPC is up 21-10. Missed shot outlet, taken away by Griffin Tippy. I said all kinds of great stuff. Nancy, I apologize. Yes, thank God. I'm sorry it took to the end of the first quarter for somebody to say something. I didn't notice that we weren't working until Tyler Crum mentioned something. I apologize. The Suns are up 21-10. A sports corner three for Griffin Tippy. He's got 11 points now. Actually, that's an LB Auto Sales three-pointer for Griffin Tippy. Betty, I was giving you all kinds of praise for being in the live chat early, and I wasn't even able to get up and go, and I apologize profusely to everybody out there. 24-10 is the score. We are in the second quarter here. Because of my oversight, we didn't, it was showing in the screen on YouTube, but it just wasn't live. I've not had that happen before. Aiden Akers gets the bucket. 26-10. BPC takes a timeout. It's a 30-second timeout. It's their second timeout they've called. They'll have 3 timeouts remaining. Aiden Akers gets his first bucket of the night. 11 points for Griffin Tippy, 7 points for Mason Fry, 6 points for Carter Hitz, 2 points for Aiden Akers. Scoring for the Southeastern Suns. For BPC, 3 points for Brock Beekman, 3 points for Caden Palm, 2 points for Osman Perelku, and 2 points for Dalton Huffman. And that's all they've got. Nobody scored more than 1 bucket for BPC with 4:39 to go here in the first half. They trail by 16 at Southeastern High School. To try to get you back up to speed, or get you up to speed for the first time, not back up to. It's the first time we've been able to be here. Dalton Huffman with it. He puts the shot up off, no good. Tippy with a rebound for Southeastern. And a kick by Perelku out of bounds. Mason Fry. Jaron Henry has been relatively quiet in this one. Akers with it. Zoe and Emma watching. I talked about that when we weren't on air, Liz. I apologize. Zoe and Emma not here tonight, and they had to miss Carter's 6 points in the first quarter because of my miscalculation and thinking I pushed the button and it not working. As Caden Palm comes flying at me right there, out of bounds. It'll be Southeastern basketball. But as I was mentioning off air, apparently Zoe and Emma, huge fans. If you want to see something as cute as a button, go to our tournament coverage of the Macomb Western Holiday Tournament. I believe it was a Saturday afternoon, early afternoon game or late morning game for Southeastern. It would have been Friday's game. Friday night's game is when it was. And Perelku is going to pick up another foul. No shot. Go watch the interview at halftime, or of the preview before the game started, I believe it was. Go watch the interview with Emma, if I remember correctly. Perelku picks up his second. Team's first of the quarter. Shot hits. Is going to get a couple free throws, I think. Huffman's going to pick up, of the Dalton variety, picks up his second foul. BPC's second foul. 26-10 is the score. Hits his 4 for 4, making 5 for 5 from the free throw line. Second one bounces off the front iron and falls through. He's got 8 points. 6 for 6 from the free throw line for Carter Hitz. 28-10. And a pass from Palm, I think, to Kleindienst, really lackadaisical, went right into the hands of Carter Hitz. Aiden Akers down to Hitz. To Henry. 2:56 to go. Man, Connor Upton, I heard that slap all the way from down here. Hitz comes down with the basketball. He kind of got tossed down by Tanner Kleindienst. Jump ball, possession to Southeastern. Again, I apologize for the first quarter not being on here. Akers shot off, no good. Beekman with the rebound. He traveled with it as he hesitated, trying to fake Akers into covering. Akers has done that to BPC twice now. He acts like he's going to cover the ball, and then he backs off to take the passing lane away. And it's caused turnovers in both occasions for BPC. 2:25 to go here in the first half. Hitz and Beekman going at it here. Mason Fry goes up to Henry. Gavin Pimble guarding him. Things have slowed down immensely here in quarter number 2. Hitz with it. Tippy. That is a jumping mismatch for Connor Upton. Tippy missed but got the rebound. Now Hitz is going to drive the lane. His jumper's off, no good. Pimble with the rebound, and back the other way it comes with Connor Upton on the dribble. 1:35 remaining in the first half. Pimble, long three off, no good. Upton's going to save it in. It's going to go out of bounds. Jaron Henry. Coach Gooding just looked at Tippy and said, Carter, you're on the perimeter, and looked at Tippy and said, post up. But he's not going to get a chance to because Beekman with the steal. Upton for three, banks it in. A sports corner three for Connor Upton. He'll say he meant to do that. Still nobody for BPC's got more than one basket, though. Southeastern with a 28-10 lead. Carter Hitz with it. 43 seconds left in the first half. Aiden Akers going to drive, puts the shot up. Got harassed a little bit by Pimble as he was driving in, and it's going to be a miss. Upton going to try another one. That one's long. It's going to go out of bounds. Possession to Southeastern. One thing you can say about Connor Upton, he is not afraid to loft up the triple. 25 seconds left here in the first half. Mason Fry drives, puts the shot up and in. Tons of contact, no foul call, but Mason Fry gets his ninth point. 7 seconds, 5 seconds travel called on Pimble. And Jaron Henry says, I'm not going to let you finish at the rack, even with the travel. 6.2 seconds left here in the first half. A 17-point lead for Southeastern. Griffin Tippie dumps it out. Mason Fry, 3, nailed it. LB Auto Sales 3 for Mason Fry. He finishes the half with a game-high 12 points. And the Suns in the half with their largest lead, 33-13. We'll take a break, and we'll be back here a little bit later in the half after we hear a word from our title sponsor, McDonough District Hospital.
As you know, MDH is welcome once again, as we're happy to bring to you another member of the staff at MDH. And today we have Bill Murdoch, the Vice President and Chief Financial Officer of MDH. You know, I've talked to some people up the food chain a little bit, but you're getting ways up there for me to be talking to here. Right. But you're just another guy.
I am.
And we were joking off camera. We'll get to that a little bit maybe as we go along here. But
sure.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. You married? You have kids?
Yep, married. My wife's from Macomb. We have 4 children. My wife's a bomber and a leatherneck. I'm a leatherneck as well. That's it. I grew up outside of Galesburg on a farm, and we still have a place up there. Go back there every day and enjoy the great outdoors up there. I've been in healthcare for over 30 years now. Enjoy it very much, and really look forward to the challenges that healthcare provides for us.
Now, if I remember reading through your stuff correctly, you're from Oneida, which is up by Galesburg, right?
Do you know where that is?
I do. I know where. It's part of Rova.
It is.
It's part of. We're sports people here, yeah. Bill. We have to know who Oneida is.
I graduated from Rova.
Did you? So it was Rova even that far back.
Well,
not that you're old. That isn't what I meant there.
There was an additional town added after I graduated, but it's always been pronounced as Rova.
So what was the town that was added?
Watauga.
Watauga was added.
Which is where I live now.
So you live in Watauga.
Right.
You graduated from Rova.
Correct.
But Watauga wasn't part of Rova when you graduated from Rova.
That's right.
That's like a twisting, turning road right there.
Oh, yeah. It's a complex matter here. But no, after I graduated high school, went to college and all that, and then as I advanced my career, we stayed in the Midwest and finally ended up after we started having kids in the Rova, Oneida area to raise our children, and just stayed there the whole time since then.
How, there's a lot of professions at any hospital that have a lot of very important, and they are the integral workings of the hospital. Everybody thinks physicians, nurses, providers.
Right.
But you have a lot of pressure on you on a daily basis when you're talking about the chief financial officer. So how do you find yourself into that profession? I mean, I think I'd rather be the doctor or the nurse than the chief financial officer.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. When I graduated from Western, I was recruited at that time by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, and we were doing what hospitals have to prepare a Medicare cost report, and I was auditing them. So that's how I got my step into the healthcare career. And then after that, I went to work for a consulting firm that prepared the cost reports for the hospitals and all that. And then after that, I got into the actual inner workings of the hospital, started out as a controller, then worked up to CFOs and larger organizations, and that's kind of my niche, and that's where I've stayed my whole career.
Now, you mentioned larger organizations. Lindsay Douglas, we talked to her. She's in recruitment for you guys for physicians and providers. And this is not, as far as hospitals go, a larger,
right.
It's not a huge hospital.
Right.
So what does that do for you on a daily basis as you're trying to balance a budget or make a budget that works or help with the finances of that doesn't have maybe the bottomless pockets that some people think of when you think of a huge hospital or whatever?
Right. Yeah, I think that, you've been in one hospital, They're all different. They all have their sets of challenges and struggles and all that. What is very exciting for me is we are we're nimble, we can make quick changes, and I feel like I can make that impact in the organization, those quick impacts to get the hospital on the right track and keep it going and be viable.
Yeah, and funding in this day and age is a key in getting payments. But I'm sure you guys still look at trying to get donations and stuff, correct? Is that involved in anything you do, or do you have to consider any of that when you're trying to make your business positions?
It's a small piece of it, a little bit of it. Our biggest challenge is to get reimbursed from the insurance payers. Make sure, because there's a lot of noise out there right now where insurance payers are denying everything that not everything, but most things that we try to get reimbursed for. And if we don't get what we're entitled to, then it's a struggle to make payroll. It's a struggle to pay our vendors. It's really tough to keep the hospital going, make the capital improvements that we're doing on the campus right now.
And you're doing a bunch of those right now. I mean,
we are.
You guys are improving. It seems like monthly, daily, whatever, you're making improvements here in the last 10 years or so.
There's a lot of exciting things going on here on the campus right now with the retail pharmacy, or community pharmacy is what we're calling it now, because it is the community of McDonough County's pharmacy. And we're trying to prepare this organization for future generations so we can keep this hospital in the community for the people of the community.
Okay, so you work and think numbers all week.
Pretty much.
What do you think on the weekends? Now, I think I read somewhere there's some hunting and fishing involved in what you enjoy doing.
Right, yes. I like I mentioned, I grew up on a farm. We still have a farm. We still live on a farm. So I enjoy just about anything outdoors. That would be fishing, hunting, camping, spending time on the farm, just fixing things or doing whatever. That's how I decompress and recharge to do the job that I do today.
Okay. Now, I said I only had 2 questions. I got one more. We're about at time. But now, you're a hunter.
Yes.
And you're older like me. Okay. So I remember when I was a kid and everybody was deer hunting, if you got a deer, you were lucky.
Right.
Do you deer hunt?
I do.
And how much easier is it on your farm to get a deer now than it was when you were a kid?
Yeah, I'm really blessed because there are a lot more deer today than there was years ago when I started hunting. I do, but I enjoy deer hunting. But I also, every deer I've gotten the last 2 years, I've donated to the food pantry and let them repurpose that. Our sons also hunt with me as well. You eat a lot of that deer meat, but anything I get, it goes right to the food pantry, and I donate it back to the community.
Well, MDH is all about community. It's been about community, and you even go home and make it about community. So that makes you a good guy, right?
Right. Well, I don't know about that, but I appreciate the comment.
Well, that'll do it for this halftime interview. We'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, with the second half right after this.
When my parents told me they'd be using Adam's Experts, I felt a bit replaced. I mean, they always called me to remove their viruses or get their printer connected to Wi-Fi. He even set up their new Roku.
How do I adopt a new son?
But then he taught me a few things. And now, we're like tech brothers.
Adam's Experts. Repair, maintenance, and setup for all your home technology needs.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there is limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Welcome back to Southeastern High School as the Southeastern Pep Band playing here at the half. Coach Kerr's out at center court, getting the balls off the court. We'll look at the scoring for the first half. Game high 12 points at the half for Mason Fry as he hit the LB Auto Sales 3 at the buzzer. 11 points for Griffin Tippy. He's got two LB Auto Sales 3s. 8 points for Carter Hitz. He's 6 of 6 from the free throw line. And 2 points for Aiden Akers. For BPC, nobody has scored more than one basket. It's BPC's basketball to start the third quarter. And a big dunk to start things off for Tanner Kleindentz for BPC. Foul called on BPC. It's going to be on Dalton Huffman. That'll be his third. Team's first. Sorry about that, folks. I had to step away for just a second. Perelku all over Griffin Tippy. And now Perelku is going to get the foul. Perelku picks up his third foul, team second. Into Tippy, blocked from behind by Beekman, out of bounds, possession to Southeastern. Subs coming in, Perelku is going to leave. Lane Huffman checks in for BPC. Third quarter action, 33-15. Count it. And a foul, and Dalton Huffman's going to pick up his fourth foul. Three team fouls for BPC. Nate Kramer checking in. Akers is at the free throw line to complete the old-fashioned three-point play. He's got 4 points. Trying to build it back to a 21-point lead. And he does. Caden Palm for three. It's off, no good. Mason Fry with the rebound. Aiden Akers looking down to Mason Fry. Can't get it down there. Tippy gives it the hits. Back to Tippy. Mentioned Carter hits our heads up in the bleachers. Little overthrow there. Possession to BPC as Akers let one get away from him. Carter, the TSSR Game Time Live Football Player of the Year in the area. He's an all-stater for I-8FA, defensive end. Cutting is Kleindentz. He goes to the rack. His shot's off, no good. Rebound tipped around. Finally snagged by Mason Fry. Henry with it. Step back, won't take the three. Akers down the corner to Hitz. Hitz will take the three. It's off, no good. Rebound to Henry. He leaves the layup off, no good. Kramer misses the shot. It went off so quickly, Tippy was caught off guard. It went off his hand out of bounds. They'll stay with BPC. Subs in. Pimble back in for BPC. Kramer, top of the key. Pimble off, no good. Back the other way it comes. If you know somebody that was missing the game because it wasn't on, make sure you share with them that it is going now. We apologize for the issues. Akers, a little lackadaisical on a pass, knocked away by Huffman. Saved by Pimble's face, and he's going to do the little runner off, no good. Akers gets the rebound. Tippy's going to go to the rack. Shot up and in. Griffin Tippy gets his 13th point. 23-point lead, largest of the game for the Southeastern Suns. Huffman, his shot's blocked. Hitz is there to take it. Henry with it. To Akers. Gets it down Fry. Looks at the three. Doesn't take it. Goes back to Akers. 3:42 to go in the third quarter. Akers pull-up jumper. Off no good. Kramer will track down the rebound in the far corner and gets it to Huffman. 3:33, as you might hear Coach Snyder say, go. If you're down by 23, you need to get some possessions here to go with your defensive stops. Akers going to be called for the foul. That's the first on Aiden Akers. And only the second foul in the entire game on Southeastern. Timeout on the floor. It's a 30-second timeout. Charge to Southeastern. It's their first timeout. Tell you this game being brought to you by Rosie's Pizza. Rosie's Pizza offers something for everyone with pasta, sandwiches, and, of course, pizza. Dine in or carry out at 458 East Main Street in Bushnell. They also deliver to Good Hope 8 Air and all points in between. For delivery, call 309-772-2101 and try their new tiramisu. Looks delicious in the photos, so make sure you try that out. M&B Furniture, Bushnell's only furniture store. M&B Furniture is a mainstay in the community and offers free delivery within 40 miles for everything you need, and a 3 by Pimble's off no good. Kleindense has it ripped away by Akers. For everything you need to furnish a new home or replenish an old one, see the fine folks at 41 West Main Street in Bushnell or find them on Facebook. Griffin Tippy. A little bit of contact there. No foul call. Tippy loses the ball out of bounds as he tried to just throw it at the rim when he knew he was going to go down. Gunnar Walker, who scored 24 points in the JV contest, getting ready to check in, it looks like. Pimble tries another one. It's off no good, and Kramer is going to pick up another foul. That's his third. Four for the Spartans. 2:52 remaining. Hey, look at the guy coming up here to sit down. Are you just gonna stay here and watch in the comfortable chairs, or? Hitz has it. He has it stolen away by Kleindense. Akers might beat Kleindense down there. He does enough to mess up the shot, and Kleindense misses the dunk. Still 38-15. Turn the headset up. You know what? I have to apologize to you, Coach.
Yes.
Or is it Principal Kurt and I? Is it Coach Kurt?
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter? Okay.
Nope.
Well, I have to apologize because I messed up at the beginning of the game. I hit the live button.
Uh-oh.
It never went live.
Oh, uh-oh.
So I didn't. Nobody said anything till the end of the first quarter. But I was giving you all kinds of props about how good of an announcer you were and all this stuff, and nobody got to hear it.
I nailed it. I'll tell you what. I get so nervous and I have to play the music and announce at the same time, and oh my goodness, it was on point tonight.
Gunnar Walker in the game, puts the shot up, left it short, hits with the rebound. He's going to bring it out to Akers, who goes in, and Akers is going to be fouled by Pimble. He'll get 2 shots. Pimble picks up his first foul. Team foul number 5. Suns will be in a bonus the rest of the way. 1:48 to go in the third quarter. Akers at the free throw line. He's 1 of 1 from the charity stripe, has 5 points on the night. And I jinxed him, left it short. But yeah, I was telling everybody how good of an announcer you were. I played it, let them hear it, and there was in it.
Yeah, that's all right. There'll be other days.
You'll get another chance some year down the road.
Absolutely.
Makes the second one. Well, the talk has Pimble for 3. It's off no good. Kramer with the rebound. He goes to Kleindence, and Kleindence is blocked from behind by Fry out of bounds. The talk in the gym before was the fact that Southeastern has beat good teams, and then they get blown out by some good, maybe not. It's been a roller coaster ride for them.
It's been our story for the last month or so. You're right. We talked about that when Coach Gooding went by at halftime. We were up 20, and I said, is this Dr. Jekyll or is this Mr. Hyde? Which one is it this time?
Gunnar Walker gets the bucket, picking up where he left off in the fresh soft game. He scored 24. Did you realize that?
I did, yes. He's really been playing well.
Beekman to the rack. He can't finish. Kleindence can. And Kleindence is the first player for BPC to get his second basket. They did not have anybody with more than one basket before that.
Stat, yeah.
With 1 minute to go in the third quarter before a single player scored their second basket. And they've both come here in the third quarter, a dunk to open.
Right. Yeah, they're leading in dunks 1-0, I saw. So.
Yeah. Oh, nice move, an up and under move for Carter Hitz. And Hitz has 10 points. He's playing a good game. That kid has really improved as an athlete through high school.
Yeah, you're right, he has. He does a good job for us. Sometimes I think he falls in love with his jumper a little too much, but that's kind of he hasn't done that much the last 2 or 3 weeks. So he's doing a good job of just powering up and playing inside. And
Pimble for a Sports Corner 3. Still only one player to hit more than one basket, though. 43-20. Mason Fry ended the first half, but can't finish there. Rebound by Beekman. 5 seconds remaining. He's going to come up to Pimble. Pimble's going to, I thought he was going to loft another one. He's going to. And Fry says, I ended the second quarter with a 3. You're not going to end the third quarter with a 3. And it's at the end of 3. It's 43-20. Suns with the lead. Some big stuff going on at Southeastern, and it's not volleyball related.
Yeah, no, that's good to know. That's good. I've had to go sit at the state tournament and watch from the bleachers. It's nice, and had to run pep rallies and pep assemblies that are for our boys. So that's good. You're talking about our 7th grade boys basketball team, and Coach Brian Schilling, our 7th graders are in the 3rd and 4th place game at state. We go to East Peoria tomorrow and get to bring home a trophy. That's really cool. So I know it's been 20 plus years, I think, since we've done that. So it's a pretty exciting time, and we've got our homecoming this week going on, and so a lot of things going on there. So it's pretty exciting, pretty hectic at Suns Land for sure.
Southeastern has always been a school that's had homecoming during basketball season.
Right.
It's different. A lot of people think it's weird because it's everybody thinks of football, but
sure,
it allows you guys to be special and really focus on what you're doing a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's one of our best weeks for our kids, and the thing I like about the most is our faculty and staff just really get into it, and they're dressing up.
Walker tries 3, and he hits an LB Auto Sales triple for Gunnar Walker. He's got 5 points off the bench since coming in with about a minute to go in the third quarter.
He's still hot from the JV game, you're right. No, our faculty and staff just do a great job with our kids, and they're dressing up and participating in all the games and things. So we had a kind of a modified schedule, and our kids get a chance to have some fun, and so it's a nice week for us for sure.
That 3 was no good. Tippy walks away with it. Talk about athletes. I wish Griffin Tippy played football.
Yeah, I know.
He'd be such a great running back.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Pass knocked away, but right into the hands of Mason Fry, and he has 14 points. He didn't score in the third quarter, actually.
We're kind of waiting for Griffey to get a breakaway because he can get up and dunk it too himself. So he's about 5'10". He can get up there pretty good.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier he was guarding Tanner Kleindence, and everybody from Bushnell, and this was before we were actually on, come to think about it. Tanner Kleindence is the kid that dunks. He's number 10. And he's got some good ups, and Griffin was guarding him. And I said a lot of people would look at that and say that was a mismatch, but I don't think that Griffin, even though he gives up inches to start, he can jump so high and so quickly that I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing for him to be guarding him.
Yeah, for sure. He's pretty strong, too.
And Tippy misses that jumper to get it to a 30-point lead. Pimble hits the 3, an old-fashioned 4-point play coming. The basket is good for Gavin Pimble. He becomes the second player to hit a second basket. It's a Sports Corner 3, and Pimble with the fancy 4-point play opportunity. If B.J. Stone's listening right now, he always says, a 4-point game is a 1-possession game because you can have a 4-point play.
That's a true
Pimple
story.
misses the second.
That's a true story.
In actuality, it is. By definition, it takes extra.
All right.
So we always like to joke and argue about it. But he is not wrong.
He's not wrong.
Tippy can't finish there as well. Perelku the other way. Walker with the rebound. Yeah, kid of yours, he had a good JV
He
game.
had a good first half, didn't he? Put the ball in the hole a little bit.
His first 7 points of the game for the
Yeah.
Suns. In that one. I was trying to figure out if that's the kind of skill you had when you played on in here, or
Well, I won't comment on that. I had actually had a parent. This is a true story. I had a parent today meet me out in.
Walker for an LB Auto Sales 3. He's got 8.
Met me out in the lobby and said, "Hey, Carson isn't quite as smooth as you used to be on those spin moves." No comment. No comment.
Are they right, or were they remembering it differently?
No, I don't know. I think they're right.
He looked pretty good today.
Yeah, he did. He did a good job. He's a pretty good teammate, and he's pretty good dude.
He gets that from his mom, right?
Absolutely.
Fry's going to try to drive to give it a 30-point game, and he will. Clock won't stop the rest of the way. 16 points for Mason Fry. It's 53-33. Another shot off, no good.
I don't love the running clock. You probably do because you get home quicker, but I don't love it.
There's times that, like in a game like this, BPC needs to play, right?
Yeah, right.
But there's times when it's just, there's
Sure.
Kramer for 3. He nailed, nope, a 2. Never mind. Scratch that. Kramer, though, gets his first bucket of the game.
Yeah, to me, a lot of times it digs into subs minutes and just not a fan. Not a fan.
You don't get a lot of time you lose a lot of time, I should say,
Yeah.
on ability. And his Walker, he stopped and then he took the step out of bounds to gather himself. It's out of bounds. It'll be subs coming in for both teams now. Henry takes a seat. Tippy takes a seat. It's Upton, Beekman, number 35, Ethan McKim in the game, number 20, Reese Reimold's in the game, and along with Beekman and Kleindens for the Suns. Into the game is Hester, Tristan Hester, number 22. Walker's still in there, along with Fry, Akers, and Hitz. See if the Kerr kid can come in and pick up where he left off in the first quarter.
There you go. Yep.
There's knocked it away by McKim, or from McKim. Walker comes down with it. 3:17 to go. And here's the other thing, when there's a few starters mixed in, they don't really look to score as much in this situation, and the subs still want a chance to do some things here.
Yeah, I remember when I played, I was often the starter that stayed in the game because I just tried to facilitate and get those other kids some baskets, and so I kind of took pride in that a little bit.
Timeout on the floor. Charge to Southeastern. It's going to be a full timeout. They've now taken 2. Both teams have 3 timeouts remaining. 2:54 to go in the basketball game. So what's on the agenda the rest of the week for homecoming? Obviously the dance and the game.
Yeah, sure. So we've got tomorrow we have kind of a work day with all the games, with all the with the weather we had there in January. We had a lot of things pushed back, so we had some makeup games and things. This one I think is a makeup game too. So generally at this time in the week we'd have decorations started or halfway done in the gym. Each class gets one section of the gym, and they decorate the gym with our theme or whatever, and so generally we have more time to do that in the evenings, and we don't have that. So we're given tomorrow as a work day, so our kids will be all over the school, just decorating, getting prepared for those things, and then Friday we've got an Ironman. We have it's a volleyball match with mostly boys, and then we have our lip syncs that we're known for on Friday and some things like that, and of course the game, and then the dance on Saturday. So it's again couple more pretty stacked up days.
Is the lip sync going to be at halftime or in between games?
Yeah, I think so. Again, yep. Yep.
So we'll have to make sure we get that on camera.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm taking more of a secondary role this year, I think, in this. Huh?
Walker's shots off, no good. Is that Hester down there with the rebound? It is. Loses it, though, as Beekman goes away with it. Clock running, 2:33 to go. Taking a backup roll. How can that happen?
Well, I don't know.
The Blues Brothers and all that good stuff was great. Upton for 3.
I'm still catching my breath from last year trying to do all that.
Oh, and Northern got the rebound. Well, you don't see me offering to do any of that stuff anymore.
Right.
So I was going to leave it at that. Carson is in the game and loses it out of bounds. You know, I knew who he was, and I thought his jersey said 55 when he made the first bucket to start the game. And I'm like, where is he at? I don't see 55 on there anywhere. So then I just had to look for his name and realized it said 35.
There you go.
1:54 left. 53-25. It was 53-23. That's why the clock is running here. Beekman with it. Step back. Didn't take the 3. Connor Upton goes to McKim.
Got senior James Lane in the game. There he is. Look at that.
He got the steal, right?
He's pretty quick.
This is and this is exactly what you were talking about, right? With the running clock, they lose a lot of seconds for being able to play.
Yep. And I really hate it when they keep the clock running for free throws. That drives me nuts.
Yeah, I can appreciate that, but from my point of view, I get home a lot earlier.
No, correct. I know.
And the sad thing is that rule, I think, as we're down to nearly a minute, I think that rule came into play a lot because as Hester's going to pick up the foul. You know what? That's only the fourth foul of the entire game on Southeastern.
Really?
Yeah. Actually make that because actually Akers came in this quarter, so that's only the third. You ever seen a team go a full?
No, and especially on our team. We're usually pretty handsy and pretty aggressive on the boards.
Upton for 3. It's off, no good. Hester for 3. But what I was saying is it's the teams that don't take starters out and just keep running the score up is the reason why those rules have to be made.
Right.
Whereas if you could just have some, show a little compassion and back off a little bit, those rules wouldn't be needed, and these kids would get a whole quarter to play or whatever.
Right. It's like the volleyball rule I hate is going to 25 or 27 no cap. It's like how much time are you actually saving? You know, you get to the 27-26, and that's a winner. Usually, obviously, you win by 2 in volleyball, but some tournaments do that. It drives me nuts.
Upton tried a 3. It's off, no good. And that's how this one ends, 53-25. Suns get the win over the Spartans. There's a lot of things like that, right? I mean, what do you think of the tournaments? I know you guys have a tournament that does it for the opening, but going to 15 in the third set.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Personally, if we get to 15 first, I love it. If we don't, I don't. I can see some value in that. Obviously, sometimes when you're playing those all-day tournaments, when you play 3, 4, 5 matches, and it makes some sense just to keep things on track. But I guess I don't love it either.
Sure. Coach Gooding says, "Can I send 2 players instead of me?"
Coach Gooding, it's going to take 3 players to replace you, buddy. You better bring a third one.
So, letting out of school or anything early tomorrow?
We are. We're getting out an hour early, so dismissing at 1:45. We kind of have a prep rally to see the kids off. One of the tough things of having kids that keep advancing in the postseason is we just kind of keep thinking of ideas for pep rallies and do different things. So this will be our third one with this group of kids, and so we'll get the whole student body down in the gym, and we'll introduce the kids again and talk a little bit more about what they've done in the game and coming up, and we'll probably play a few games with them. We had the 7th graders against the faculty with some knockout and some shooting and things like that. We just kind of make about 20 minutes, 25 minutes of it, and then I think usually we end up with we play We Are the Champions and have the whole student body go through and slap them 5 and wish them good luck, and then tomorrow I think we've got fire trucks ready to see them out of town, so that'd be kind of cool. And they're also going to go over to Bowendore Elementary and see some of some of the younger kids because they like that too. That's one of my favorite things when we've gone in volleyball. We'll go over there and just kind of see all the little kids, and they'll make up signs, and they'll have glitter and confetti that they'll throw all over the place, and so it's kind of cool to see all that. And I think that success breeds success type of thing when those younger kids see that and see the older kids come over So I'm excited about, having that happen as well too. And so get out at 1:45 and, got a fan bus. We've had a fan bus since the regional championship, and usually we get about 40, 42 kids on that. So that's kind of a cool, get a little bit of a cheering section over there, and it'll be nice to, it'll be nice to hopefully, obviously win a trophy either way, but obviously it'd be nice to come on the third for us.
See you in the morning. Is that a saying you like to talk?
Yeah, no, that's she goes to bed about 3 hours earlier than I do, and she wakes up about 3 hours earlier than I do. So it's not a very consistent schedule in terms of seeing each other in the mornings or evenings.
I got you. So, junior high volleyball a little different for you this year than it has been the last couple. But you get back to your real coaching roots a little bit this year, haven't you?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Just with so much stuff going on this year, I really looked at maybe not coaching junior high this year, and I actually tried to get Carrie Schaefer, who's Abigail's mother, and Carrie Leaksman, that played for me back in the day, and she's got a daughter that's a sixth grader. I tried to get someone to coach. I wanted her to do it. She just was too busy with school and work and stuff. So I decided to go ahead and do it, and I'm really glad I did because it's really I've got a bunch of sixth graders because our seventh grade numbers are so low. So it's a lot of sixth graders on that seventh grade team, and it's interesting. It's fun to kind of go back and just teach the game, and even though junior high volleyball is nothing like high school volleyball.
What a show off! Did you see what he just did?
He just
dead jumped up on the pad, not on the freaking.
Can you jump out of water? Because I've seen people do that before. Have you tried that before? Have you tried that? Have you seen people do that before? Yeah, Bradley Mott's pretty good. Well, that's true too. So
Carter Hitch just flat jumped from the floor to the top of the stage.
All right, he's got some blood on his.
Hey, that's illegal.
Look at that. So, all right, I'm gonna let you guys take care. You guys are the professionals. You guys take care.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you guys.
We'll get. I don't care whichever one of you want to go first. Mason, you want to go first? All right, we'll get Mason Fry on here. You better say hi to Betty.
Oh, Grandma, what are we doing?
Grandma Betty's, I'm sure she's still watching. You know what? I got to tell you guys, I may or may not have screwed up somehow. I'm still not sure how I did it, but I hit the live button and it never went live. So the first quarter wasn't on, and nobody said a word until the end of the first quarter.
Happens. It's probably my grandma that said it.
Actually, she was the third one to say something. One Bushnell person, Tyler Crum, said something, and your grandma said, are they playing yet? There's no video. So then I thought there was only audio, and but we got it figured out. It's going good. Good three-pointer at the end of the first half.
Yeah, got to knock it down. It's open.
So you guys had kind of an up-and-down deal here in the last few games or whatever, Mason, but you've proven that you can play some stuff. Did you guys as a team feel like you had something to prove coming into this year? Because I think that pretty much everybody had you written off before the season started.
Yeah, I mean, we just got to come in here every night and be ready to play. So it's just fun getting after it with the guys.
So you're a senior finally. Seems like you've been around here forever. You were on this team and you played a little bit and you've just kept moving up, you and Carter. And actually everybody that plays as seniors now have kind of done that. Playing on those teams that were successful, did that kind of breed some success for you guys this year, you think?
Oh, it teaches you everything. You learn that winning is what you want to do. You want to go out there and give it your all and win.
BPC, they've struggled scoring some tonight, but did you realize that only 2 players from BPC scored more than 1 basket?
I did not realize that.
And that didn't happen until the very end of the third quarter before somebody had more than 1 basket. Now, they had a lot of players score to get their points, but they only had 2 players score more than 1 basket.
Yeah, I thought we were playing some hard-nosed defense. They get the ball in the post, and our guys would just go straight up, so they weren't calling it. So we were just getting rebounds and going down the other end.
All right. Well, Mason, you want to say anything to Grandma before you leave?
Love you, Grandma. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.
So that's Mason Fry. We'll get Carter Hitz under the headset here for a minute. Well, Carter, you how many times have you done the straight from the floor to the – did you have any hesitation on whether that was going to work or not?
I have no idea, and I don't think I've ever done that, to be completely honest with you. So I just thought, why not? Pretty excited after the win, feeling pretty giddy. So I thought, why not give it a spin?
Folks, I know I kind of explained it, but he was standing on the floor, and he just ducked a little bit and jumped straight up onto the stage. And not just onto the stage, but the 2 inches of padding that's on top of the stage. He landed on that, too. I couldn't jump on top of the 2 inches of padding from the stage, let alone from the floor. you've become a pretty stout kid through your high school. You were they were oversized as far as height-wise, but you guys didn't really give up anything in the post. You and Griffin and some of those guys used your strength down low, it looked like, to dominate tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yep. A lot of the off-season, we spend time, out in the old bus garage, the old iron, we cling weights all the time, and it's what a lot of our guys enjoy to do. And, we prioritize our health and fitness, even not during the season but off the season as well. So I feel like that plays a major role into not just basketball but to any other sport that's we're involved.
Is that a slam to the health and fitness thing to me?
Absolutely not.
Because I'm round and not fit you guys?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm old, so that's not a good excuse. But at any rate, I haven't got to talk to you since football, so let's talk a little bit about football.
Okay.
All-state team.
Correct.
You guys made it to the playoffs. What was that honor like? Some people say, well, it's I-8FA. You saw some really good football teams this year, didn't you?
Right.
What was it like being named to the All-State team?
Oh, it was great. I talked to Coach Zeringer. He works at the school, so I see him every day, and, I take his classes, and obviously he's our offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator, excuse me, and he told me at the end of my junior season, I want you to be the All-State team, and that was a goal, and we coming in early before school and, whenever we could, and we put in the work and put in the time. So, we've been very proactive as a team, not only just myself but as a team, because we had goals prior to the season, and we did everything we could to achieve them. So,
we did our first TSSR All-Area football team.
Correct.
Made you as the only player to make All-State. You were the player of the year. There's still a stigma about 8-man football.
Absolutely.
As compared to 11-man. You watch a lot of 11-man. I don't know how much, if any, you've ever played, but maybe in junior high. But what would you tell anybody that has questions about 8-man still, about the game?
Every time somebody asks about 8-man, I was like, oh, it's just 8-man, or, I'm not one that needs validation, but, it's a great honor, some of the awards I received. And I just say to people, come and watch. It's my grandma, she's not much of a one that understands, I guess, the rules behind the game, and she had no idea it was even 8-man until week 3 of my sophomore season, and we were talking about it, and she didn't understand. I had to explain it to her. So it's football, and come and see for yourself.
You guys hit hard too, don't you?
Yeah.
There's no let up from 11 to 8-man in that respect.
No. We love our Saturday morning practices. A lot of times they don't go so well, but we get excited for them and get up early, and we like to hit. So we do the one-on-one drill and see who can smoke each other the hardest. And at the end of practice, everybody's got gouges and headaches and things, but that's just a part of it. We love it.
What about some of the athletes you played against, both on your team and then against as well? There's some good athletes in 8-man.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like as far as athleticism goes in 8-man, you can really be a standout player if you are just ability to make plays, because there are 3 less guys on the field. And if you're an athlete, you're going to find a lot of success. But I feel that our team, we're probably one of the most undersized, I'd say. But as far as general athleticism and speed goes, I say we're probably put us up against just about anybody, and we're pretty fast. But deep in the playoffs, obviously you watch teams like Polo and Amboy, and those guys are just all put together. They've got size, strength, and speed, and all kinds of athletes. So that doesn't change from 11-man to 8-man. There's all kinds of great 11-man players as well as 8-man. I feel like there's no difference, in between.
So how hard has the switch been to basketball after hitting and playing defense, offensive line, running the ball, or whatever you've been doing? How hard is that switch to basketball? I've never been one to thoroughly enjoy the sport, but football, I love football, and it kind of hurts your soul a little bit, to put on basketball shoes every day rather than the cleats. But you get used to it, and you get used to the atmosphere of being in school, and just because we always bust over, but we stayed back here at the school because our gym's here, and so it's a pretty smooth transition, but conditioning's obviously much different. But Zoe and Emma, we're watching from home tonight.
Of course. Hi, girls.
What? You have a pretty good fan section, don't you?
Yeah, I do. My grandma and grandpa, they're always watching, and my grandma, she's always watching from YouTube, and my aunts and uncles, and they're all about Southeastern, and I always appreciate the support from them, and I love those girls to death, and So they're always there and cheering me on. And my aunt will always send me videos of them in front of the TV or, while I'm playing basketball. So it's always great to have the support, not just basketball, but, any sport or any of my activities.
Interviewed, I think it was Emma we interviewed, right?
Yep.
At the holiday tournament, and you got to give her a hug and a high five.
Oh, yeah.
That had to be kind of cool, right? I mean,
Yeah.
for you to have the girls out on the court with you.
Yeah, Coach Gooding, he was like, what the heck are you doing? And I was talking to my cousin. He was like, I'm playing a basketball game, dude. Not a family reunion. And I was like, all right. So,
yeah, but you couldn't pass her up.
No, I can't. She's sweet.
All right. Well, Carter, I appreciate the time greatly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Congratulations on a great football season.
Thank you.
And just the important part of the basketball season is coming.
Absolutely.
So you guys can.
Thanks for having me.
I saw you take a 3 tonight.
I did. Yeah, it didn't fall, but, that happens.
How often do you take threes?
At the beginning of the season, we had a meeting, during football, and Coach Gooding kind of made a joke. He goes, Carter Hitz, you're not too much of a three-point shooter. He goes, so are you going to still shoot them? And I looked at him, and I was like, heck yeah, I'm still going to shoot it. So, I'll probably take, one a game or so.
Just to feel it out, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you got to take one.
Absolutely. If it's open, you shoot.
Yeah, and then if it goes in, you shoot another one.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. So, all right, Carter, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. We'll
Thank
talk to you again very soon.
All right.
Carter Hitz talking to us on the postgame show. That'll do it from Southeastern High School. Final score, 53-25. Southeastern gets the win. 16 points for Mason Fry game high, 13 for Griffin Tippy, 10 for Carter Hitz, 6 for Aiden Akers for BPC. A lot of people scored, but nobody scored very much. Gavin Pimble, 6 points on 2 Sports Corner threes. Brock Beekman had a Sports Corner 3. Caden Palm had a Sports Corner 3. Tanner Kleindense had a dunk and a 2. Osmond Perelku had 2. Dalton Huffman had 2. Connor Upton had a Sports Corner 3. And Nate Kramer had 2. That's the scoring for BPC. The season's winding down. About a week and a half left in the regular season. Friday, West Hancock is here. Luke Little will be on the call for that. And then they'll be back next week for senior night as well. So thanks for joining us here on TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH. We'll see you again very soon, and we apologize about that first quarter.